All right. Once again, we are welcome to class PGC 916 Data Analytics for Accounting for the PhD student of Annan University. Today, we'll be looking at the very topic you have seen on the screen, Data Analytics for Accounting Overview and Application. And it is very important I let the class know that specifically during the course of our meeting for these lectures, I will try as much as possible to handle the practical aspect. How do I apply data analytics tools and techniques in accounting? That is, how do I apply these tools, technological tools, to analyze data for purpose of decision making? But then, before we hit the ground running, looking into practical, because we are going to look at one of such practical in our lectures for today, we want to set the ball rolling by looking at an overview of data analytics. Then we see the areas of application. Generally speaking, when we talk of big data, I think it's from the word big data that will now break it down to data analytics for accounting. That is specific. When we talk of big data analytics, generally we are talking of large volumes of data that are large when you talk of velocities, when you talk of varieties, and when we talk of the types of data. We have velocity, we have the varieties, and we have the volume, 3 V's. And these data we talk about are also structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. And data occur when you talk of data all over the world. Some people even believe that the key currency of the moment is data. We used to say time is money. Now they are saying data is money. They are not wrong. Because once somebody lay hold of important data about you, of an organization, that person is in command, can manipulate that data, can use it for anything. Only recently, while having a conference in the United Kingdom, one of our resource person, who is a professor in another university, said hijackers, that's cyber criminals now, hijack the data of the school online. It's just like the same way they say they kidnap human being. Now they kidnap the entire network system of the school, and the kidnappers are asking for ransom. So I started laughing at that. So it's not only human being they kidnap now for ransom, even system, IT system, via data. Now to us in accounting, say to whom much is given, much is expected. When you have large volume of data that occur in seconds, in minutes, even let's narrow it down to organization. You want to prepare payroll, you want to prepare specific reports, and you have all forms of data. The very first thing is for you to collect such data and carry out what is called data cleansing, data softening, different name, data mining, all manner of names there, in order for you to extract the one that is germane for the decision making. So basically, when we say data analytics for accounting, we are saying the collection of financial data. Because if it's accounting, it has to be financial. The collection of financial data, then the analysis of this data for purpose of informed decision making. One of the definitions of accounting says accounting is an economic information system which deals with the transformation of economic data into information useful for decision making. At this stage, I will know if I say it's just to remind us, data is the plural of datum. Data are informational raw materials that need to be collected, processed, and generally work on in order to produce meaning. So when this data you have give you meaning, we call it information. And information is power. Now, let's see the next slide, the first slide rather. I've defined data analytics here. You can have that definition. And I say I don't want to repeat what my other colleague have done in the class. Straight, let's go to the area of interest to us for this class. If you look at this diagram on the screen, say data analytics. I now subdivided that into two. You can see the aspect here. We see data analytics for accounting. And basically, when we say data analytics for accounting, there are various forms of analyzing data, or various types of data analysis in accounting, and they are subdivided into 4. These are the basic areas we can look at data analytics when we come to accounting. We have what is called descriptive analytics. We are going to see that later. But basically, when we talk of descriptive analytics, this one is to answer the question, where are we? That is, what is happening? What is happening? Descriptive analytics. Then we have the diagnostic analytics. Diagnostic analytics will answer the question, why are we having this result we are having? Then predictive analytics, we talk about the question, what will happen in case we did not take this action? Then prescriptive analytics will now tell us, if we don't want this to repeat itself, this is the prescription we need to make. And when you look at this situation and you liken it to somebody who have consulted a doctor, maybe you have a health challenge, the first thing is for you to describe your situation to the doctor. For us in accounting, because an accountant also qualifies as a doctor, I'm going to explain that later. But for us in accounting, what should bother you is, what are the reports, what are the financial statements I need that will describe the situation of the company or the situation of the business. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all these reports in our IPSAS accrual. If we go to the public sector, when you look at IPSAS 1, general purpose financial statement or presentation of financial statement, you will see there, according to the provisions of IPSAS 1, it said for government entities, which include the 36 states, that's the ministry, departments, and agencies, and FCTA, that's for 36 states, the FCTA, and 774 local government. We are expected to prepare reports such as what? Statement of financial performance, statement of financial position, statement of cash flow, statement of changes in net assets, then notes to the account. And some other people will add IPSAS 24 to it. That is budget information that need to be reported in published financial statement. So from this financial report I've just mentioned, you will be able to describe the situation of ministries, departments, and agencies. But when you now look at it from the point of view of companies, limited liability company, the relevant standard to them is the IFRS. And when you look at IFRS 1, or let's go specifically, we look at IAS 1, presentation of financial statement. I know IFRS 1 is for first time adoption of international financial reporting standard. Then when we go to specific, we go to IAS 1. IAS 1 will tell you that we are expected to prepare for companies the following financial statement. Statement of comprehensive income, which can be a single statement or two-statement approach. Then we have the statement of financial position. We have the statement of changes in equity. Then we have the statement of cash flow and the notes to the account. So once you understudy this, it will describe to you the situation of the company and what are the areas of interest to you when you pick up the financial report of a company. You check their profit. So in descriptive analytics, you will see this is our current situation. Maybe the company is even incurring losses. That's why you ask the question, why are we incurring losses? But you will not stop at asking why are we incurring losses. Then the next thing is diagnostic analytics. What is the cause of this? And in diagnostic analytics, this is where you now begin to look at different ratio analysis, trend analysis for you to analyze the situation. We want to find out, why are we incurring losses? Or peradventure, you have seen from the statement of comprehensive income that a company has made an after-tax profit of 5 billion. That's as per the income statement. Profit after tax, 25 billion. But the same company is struggling to pay a debt of 10 million naira. What an irony. So in diagnostic analytics, you now want to ask why? Why are we making this much profit and we cannot make ends meet? You will now begin to deploy the relevant tools, statistical tools, analytical tools, trend analysis to be able to find out the reasons behind the anomaly. Then we'll talk of predictive analytics, prediction. And in predictive analytics, you are trying to say, what do we do to prevent the reoccurrence of this ugly situation, especially if it's not a palatable one? But then, even if your report is a palatable one for the company, maybe they've made the profit and they are able to make ends meet, we believe that the path of the just, like a shining lamp, is expected to shine brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. So the same thing for companies, for businesses, that you should improve on your past performance. And I put it this way, there is a place that is called there, and until you are there, you are not there. Even if you are making 25 billion after tax profit, you can still do better. So when you talk of predictive analytics now, okay, what can we do in order to have a better result in the future? Or better still, how do we prevent the occurrence of a negative report? That's predictive analytics. Or put in another way, in predictive analytics, you can also say, if we do not do this and this ugly situation is likely to repeat itself in the future, even worse situation. Then the last one here on the screen, prescriptive analytics, prescribe. Just like the medical doctor that will prescribe curative medicines for the sick patient, we in accounting also, you have your financial report, you have gone through the financial report, the company is not doing well. As an accountant, you move all relevant tools, all relevant techniques, all relevant technologies, you move them in place to carry out a diagnostic analytics of the situation. So when you deploy instrument like ratio analysis, you deploy trend analysis, and you deploy instrument like statistical analysis, you should be able to identify these are the reasons we are having this current challenge. And if we do nothing about it, the company is going to fold up. And at the end of the day, it means killing the goose that lays the golden egg. Then the next thing accountant will now do, in order for us to prevent the company from folding up, you will now prescribe. That's why we say, like the creative artist, the accountant creates business units by way of incorporation of businesses. And we say, like the marriage registry, the accountant help to marry two or more businesses together by way of merger, amalgamation. And like the prophet, the accountant help to predict businesses that will fail and the one that will succeed through the instrumentality of ratio analysis, the interpretation of financial statement. And like a medical doctor, the accountant help to prescribe curative medicines for businesses that are sick through the instrumentality of recapitalization and or reorganization. So that is the basic things we'll be looking. Ours in this class is to identify these two, one after the other, and see how we can apply them. Then when you go down also from this diagram here, you will see financial statement analytics. Financial statement analytics, we are going to look at that. We have managerial analytics, audit analytics, tax analytics. Of course, others will come, forensic analytics. So my own assignment is to begin to address this one after the other. And once we do that, I can assure us 4 contacts. If we have 4 contacts, I'm done with my assignment. I will do some aspects. I will ask you, go and try some other aspects yourself as your practice question. Now, if you go to the other side of this data analytics, for some of you doing your PhD, of course, all of you PhD, maybe some of you already have topics for your thesis or dissertation Of course, you collect data, and when you collect your data, you have to analyze the data and interpret the data. The popular ones, the data analytics tool we have for purpose of research, we have the e-views, we have the starter. But again, during the course of these lectures, I'm also going to show you how to use some artificial intelligence tools to analyze the data you have collected for purpose of research. I pray we have that time to do that. All right, having said this, see the methods of data analysis used by modern accountants that I just discussed with us. Descriptive analytics, we answer the question, what is happening right now? And I've told us, how do we know what is happening right now? From our financial reports. Diagnostic analytics, we answer the question, why did that happen? Why? Why are we where we are? Why are we having an after-tax profit of 25 billion and we are unable to settle a debt of 10 million naira? Then predictive analytics, we answer the question, what will happen next if we refuse to do something? Prediction in the future. Then prescriptive analytics, we answer the question, what should we do? What should we do to prevent reoccurrence? Now, the next slide here, key tools used in accounting data analytics. Key tools. These are the tools we will be seeing in this class one after. See, accounting software. And when we say accounting software here, this one also encompasses, of course, we have accounting software such as Sage 50, QuickBooks, That Easy, MyOb Accounting, Odo Accounting, Busy Accounting Software, System Accounting Software. The list, endless. There are a lot of them. But we will just take one, see how to apply that one. And once we do that, it will guide you on how to use the others. Then spreadsheets. These are key tools using accounting data analytics. I think maybe our next class we may look at this spreadsheet also. Data mining tools, visualization tools like the Power BI, like the Tableau, you have them. Statistical analysis tools, I've just shown on some of them earlier on, e-views, then starter. Advanced reporting tools, machine learning, natural language processing. These are the tools. So with this, we'll stop this theory. The next thing we're gonna look at is the first practical application we are going to apply now. But before I go into the practical session for today, please take note of this information I am about giving to us. Take note that for descriptive analytics, you can go and read more. That for descriptive analytics, we have primary financial statement. I think I've mentioned all those ones. When we ask what are the primary financial statements relevant in descriptive analytics, I've mentioned all those statements prescribed in IFRS and ipsas accrual. Then the other information, very, very germane to this topic before we go into practical, is that the tools, we have tools and techniques used in descriptive analytics. And of course, those tools and techniques include the descriptive statistics. And when we talk of these descriptive statistics, we talk of the measures of central tendency, which include mean, median, mode. Then we have measures of variability, which include minimums, maximums, standard deviation, quartiles, and the rest. Then we have the graphs, is part of it, percentage change, because sometimes you are given a question, you are given financial statement, maybe comparative financial statement for 2 years, and you want to find out the change. You know, if I made a profit of 500,000 last year, and this year the profit is 400,000, how do you describe the situation? Somebody will just say, you look at the absolute values on the pages of the financial statement, and you can say the profit reduced by 100,000. Correct. But then that is not analytical enough. It is also sufficient you calculate the percentage fall. You find the difference between 500,000 profit last year and 400,000 this year, you set it over the base year, multiply by 100, so that you will tell us that from this comparative financial statement, profit figure has dropped by this so percent. That's why I say percentage change is part and parcel of the tools and techniques we need in descriptive analytics. So we also have pivot tables, we have histogram, we have ratio analysis as part of the tools. We have the vertical analysis, we have the horizontal analysis. We are going to see some of these when we come to financial statement analytics. We're going to see some of this, but it's very important we mention this. All right. So next, when we say diagnostic analytics, is also very important. We are conversant with what we say, why did it happen? That's what we say in diagnostic analytics. And when we go to diagnostic analytics, we try to see what is relevant, what tools available, what are the tools available to me to use when I want to carry out diagnostic analytics of financial statement. And all I will just say here, thank God we are also recording this. Maybe later you listen over and over, like faith that cometh by hearing and hearing when you listen. But basically, when we talk of the techniques for identifying anomalies and outliers from financial statement, we have techniques such as segregation of duty, unusual activity, duplicate transaction, sequence checks, bank reconciliations, variance analysis. These are some basic ones we have when you come to diagnostic analytics. We are talking of the techniques for identifying anomalies, and I've said there are various diagnostic analytics techniques used to identify both the expectation of what should happen as well as potential anomalies. And I've said this include what? Segregation of duties, unusual activity. If you still remember our old SAS, Statement of Accounting Standard number 6, they will tell you that one is extraordinary item and prior year adjustment. But when you go deeper to read that Statement of Accounting Standard number 6, there they also talk of exceptional items. And what do we mean by these exceptional items? Exceptional items are activities or transactions that are normal to the operation of the organization, but their occurrence is so material that it calls for attention. A practical example is this. They've given you a financial statement to study what is happening. That is descriptive analytics. And as you are studying that financial statement, you now observe that last year overhead cost was 500 million overhead cost. But in the current year under review, overhead cost has skyrocketed to 1.8 billion. That one should put you into inquiry. We know overhead cost is normal to the operation of every company, but the occurrence, the magnitude of occurrence compared with last year is worrisome. So that one will put you into inquiry. This is not normal, it's abnormal. Your own is to now ask for that question. Why did this happen? That's diagnosis analytics. And that's why we begin to do all manner of reconciliation, all manner of variance analysis. Last year, overhead cost 500 million. This year, 1.8 billion. What is the difference? Adverse variance. So variance analysis is part of the tools or techniques we need in identifying anomalies when we study financial statement. Those are the basic things. Then when we go to predictive analytics, what do I need to know in prediction, or what tools available to us is part of the practical we are going to be seeing as we commence the next one. I'm sure some of us have heard about Altman theory, bankruptcy. Altman Z will help you to predict. There we have factor number, we have the business ratio. This is where we need the ratio analysis. Interpretation of financial statement will help you predict. Of course, when we come to the ratio, we've seen liquidity, long-term, short-term, solvency ratios, activity ratios. We see the Z score. These are some of the techniques we will need when we come to predictive analytics. That is, from your ratio analysis, as an accountant or as a finance expert, you should be able to predict that following the trend that has happened in the 5 years, if we do not restructure, or if we do not reorganize, or if we do not carry out amalgamation by looking outside, this company will pack up. That is what happened. We study the past, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Is the movement zigzag? Is it static? Is it upward movement? Is it downward movement? That's what we do when we come to. Then when we say prescriptive. In prescriptive analytics, the focus will be around sensitivity analysis. What if? Some call it what if scenario. Sensitivity analysis. That when you come to prescriptive, you want to prescribe that in order to prevent this reoccurrence, what if we pump in this? What if we do this? What will happen? Also in prescriptive analytics, we'll evaluate future cash flow using various analysis techniques. Then we'll also look at the incremental analysis, then what if scenario analysis. By God's grace, all this we are going to see. Class governor, I hope you are admitting people, because I can see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I can see people waiting for admission into the class.
I have admitted.
Sir, your slides are not moving.
No, I'm not using the slide. What you have on the slide is different. I just decided to explain those ones. Now, we are coming to the practical. Now, today, within the next 30 minutes or so, we are going to take the first practical session or the practical application of one of the tools relevant to our accountants in analysis. And if you see from my screen, we have audit analytics. Michael is raising his hand. You have the floor. What's your question? You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right. Yeah, sorry, sir, it was a mistake, please.
All right, don't worry.
The slide is static.
No worry.
That's all.
No, I just explain those things I did, just explanation. I'm not using the slide. I just give you some brief explanation based on the very first overview we took. Now, this evening is morning here, 10:33 a.m. in the US here. Now, we'll be looking at audit analytics using IDEA. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk of audit analytics, as an auditor, you remember the basic work of the auditor is to collect relevant, reliable, and sufficient evidence that will enable him to form an opinion as to whether the financial statement represents a true and fair view. That's audit. And in collecting all this data or evidence that will help him form an opinion, we have all manner of data, particularly if the auditor is auditing a very big company. We have data that will be in billions in terms of volume, millions in terms of volume. Take, for example, the audit of a bank. We have some banks who have customers in millions. And you now want to collect information. Maybe you want to study the pattern of loan granted to banks or granted to customers or granted to customers who have defaulted, and those loans are long overdue in terms of principal and interest repayment that ought to have been written off as bad debt according to the provision of BOFIA, Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act, or the prudential guidelines, but you are still seeing on the pages of the financial statement as loans and advances. And you as the auditor now want to find out from these loans and advances, we know it is the business of the bank to grant loans to customers or to companies. But then what is the age of this loan. So the next thing you need to do as an auditor is to collect account receivables, information about all the customers of the bank. And when we are talking of information of customers now, they are not something you can just use your mere eye or calculator that you want to be calculating. We have tools, we have technologies, we have software that can help you collect all relevant data in soft copy and to analyze this data for you to study the pattern. A lot of things you can do. And one of such very important tool available to accountants, auditors. When I say accountants now, I include auditors because you cannot be a good auditor, of course, until you are an accountant. So one important tool in the hand of accountants or professionals in analyzing the data collected for purpose of auditing, investigation, and even forensic is IDEA. IDEA is the acronym for Interactive Data Extraction and Analysis. By implication, IDEA, A-I-D-E-A, see it here, IDEA. This is the acronym. This I is interactive, the D is data extraction and analysis. So IDEA is a data extraction and analysis software. See it here, because of time. See, audit analytics refers to the use of data analysis techniques in the auditing process. The approach leverages various tools and techniques to analyze large sets of data for the purpose of improving audit quality. See it. So that when you talk of audit risk, we know audit risk is equal to what? You say inherent risk, detection risk, internal control risk. Audit risk is the probability that the auditor will issue an unqualified audit opinion, whereas is supposed to have issued a qualified audit opinion. But in order to reduce this risk, we are now saying the modern day accountant, the modern day auditor is expected to have mastery on the use of audit techniques, audit tools to help him analyze. As a matter of fact, this idea I've mentioned to you is something when you have the software that can be installed on your laptop or desktop, as the case may be. But then we have another type of idea called idea server. Idea server operates online like cloud accounting. Cloud accounting is part of what we are going to see when we are talking of data analytics for accounting. Maybe our next class will go to the cloud and see how do I analyze or how do I carry out analysis when an organization say they are using cloud-based accounting system. We'll go to the cloud and we'll take a question and you see how they do it. Now, we have idea server that operate also in a cloud form, just like cloud computing. With that idea server, if I'm the auditor of Zenith Bank and I'm based in the United States, all that Zenith Bank just need to do through a tool called API, they will connect that server, idea server, to their database so that I will have direct access to all the relevant data I need for purpose of my audit. If at all I have to visit Zenith in Nigeria, it can be for purpose of verification to be sure that when they have stated in their financial statement that we have asset worth 100 billion in Abuja, Nigeria, I will want to verify to see whether those assets are really existing, whether they own the assets. That's what we call cave bulk. Let's leave that one. It's a different ball game. When we say cave bulk, I want to see the cost of the asset. I want to see the authorization. I want to see the valuation. I want to see the existence of the asset. I want to see the beneficiary. I want to see the ownership, and I want to see the presentation. That's the acronym cave bulk. So that when you go into audit of assets, CAVEBOP, cost of the asset. Now let's go. Here are key aspects of audit analytics, data collection and preparation. I'm not wasting time here. Analytical tools and techniques, risk assessment and compliance monitoring, fraud detection, enhancing audit quality, predictive analysis, integration with traditional auditing. So these are key aspect of audit analytics. That is, when you carry out audit analytics, these are the various sections that you can do using the analysis tools or analytical tools. Now, IDEA, I've explained this, interactive data extraction analysis, a generalized audit software able to import a wide range of different types of data files. During the import, an IDEA file and its field statistics are created. We are going to practically demonstrate this, so I'm not going to waste time on this. The following are some of the main areas where IDEA can be used. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been explaining to us before now, identifying exceptional items. And now I'll give a practical example. What do we mean by exceptional items? I've given one, that something occur is normal, but the magnitude of occurrence is too germane, is too material. And see another example I gave here. This may be simple large items or where the relationship between two pieces of information on an item do not correlate, such as rate of pay and pay grade. You are on grade level 2 and your gross pay, even with the salary increment in Nigeria today, maybe you are somebody is on grade level 7 and you now check the take-home pay of that person and it's reading about 500,000. That one is exceptional item. IDEA will help you fish it out. Why are we talking about IDEA here? We are saying we have large volumes of transaction that ordinary eyes cannot pinpoint. Maybe you are talking of a ministry department where they have thousands of staff there. And you now collect all the hard copy. You will be there for too long. Check. But with IDEA in place, all you just need to do, give me a soft copy of your payroll or give me a soft copy of your account receivable. Then you are going to import it into the IDEA environment. Within seconds, you will perform the analysis. IDEA will show to you items duplicated and so on. See, calculation can be checked by appending a calculated field. We are going to see this. Then I'll use an exception test of miscalculations using the extraction task. We will see all this. Other areas, IDEA can be applied cross-matching data between systems. Because of time, we explain this cross-matching. You have observed the financial data or the data of your client, and you realize that when you are looking at the data of the employee, let's say in Nigerian College of Accountancy, we have a lecturer there who live in Jos, maybe Odus, what do they call, Ring Road, number 24, Ring Road, Jos. That is the address of a staff of Nigerian College of Accountancy. And when you are now going through the record, of the suppliers, the contractors of Nigerian College of Accountancy, you now realize that the same address of the employee of NCA is the same address of a contractor. These are information that ordinary eyes will not give you when you have large volume of transaction. But with IDEA in place, it will quickly show to you this address of an employee in Nigerian College of Accountancy is the same address of one of our contractors. And as the auditor, it will put you into inquiry to carry out further investigation. Now, IDEA is also used for testing for gaps and duplicates. We are going to see this later. That maybe you have made duplicate payment. It has happened before. Like where I worked before I joined Nigerian Law School, UBA. I was with UBA Area 3, Gadki, Abuja there. And after resigning, I left them. They still keep paying my salary. I have to go back to tell them that I am no longer your employee, but you are still paying my salary. That was then. But now, with this technology in place, it will show that you are paying somebody who is no longer in service. We have had cases also in the same Nigerian Law School when I was given an assignment to reconcile the financial statement and bank statement that has been in arrears for 4 years to reconcile the account. We even discovered that somebody who was long dead, they are still paying salary to somebody already buried in the grave. A lot of things happening. It was during that same investigation I carried out, that special assignment, that we realized that contrary to what we know in accounting, that the closing balance for a period is supposed to be the opening balance for another period. We saw a closing balance as at the end of the month in our bank statement. That's bank statement of Nigerian Law School. And we saw something different the next day, which is the beginning of another month. So with IDEA in place to show you the gaps in a numeric sequence or missing items, it will also show you items that were duplicates. IDEA will also do sampling and the rest. Advantages of IDEA, please, you will read all this theory. Users of IDEA, external auditors, internal auditors, software developers, all use IDEA. IDEA is also used in the health industry, in hospital, healthcare industry, school board use IDEA. As a matter of fact, except maybe CBN have changed another software. Is this same IDEA they use in CBN, they use it in Auditor General Office, and so on. Areas of application of IDEA, auditing and assurance services. And when we say auditing and assurance service, IDEA is relevant in financial audit, verifying the accuracy of financial statement and record, operational audit, evaluating the effectiveness and efficiency of operation, compliance audit, ensuring adherence to laws, policies, and regulations. IDEA is relevant in accounting and finance, for example, in accounts payable, account receivable, general ledger analysis. I have 2 case studies already prepared in this area for account receivable and general ledger. I'm going to do one with us shortly. How do I use IDEA to analyze account receivable to get the information I need for purpose of audit, investigation, or forensic? That's what we'll be seeing today. IDEA is also relevant in internal control testing, and the key areas there include control effectiveness. You want to assess the effectiveness of internal control. Fraud detection, IDEA is also used there. Another area is forensic accounting. I've been mentioning this earlier on. Fraud investigation, that's investigating suspicious activities or transactions. You know, in forensic, the fraud has been perpetrated. All you just need is to deploy relevant tools and techniques to uncover the fraud. But in auditing, your own is to express an opinion as to whether the financial statement represents a true and fair view. And in investigation, your own is to carry out examination and report to the commissioner. So auditing, investigation, forensic are not the same thing. You have different approaches. Then litigation support, providing data analysis to support legal cases, that's forensic. The IDEA is also relevant in risk management, for example, in risk assessment, in identifying and evaluating potential risk. Control testing, testing controls to mitigate, identify risk. Then data reconciliation, IDEA is also relevant in data reconciliation, data matching, data cleaning. We've been talking about this data cleaning, data cleansing, and so on. IDEA is also relevant in performance analysis, like benchmarking, comparing performance against industry benchmark or standards. Of course, also in accounting or in management accounting, to be specific, I can call it performance management, but we call it advanced management, whether performance management or management accounting. When we talk of control has to do with standard. You set standard, then you measure the actual performance. So the same thing, when you are measuring your performance, IDEA can help you do that. Trend analysis, analyzing trends over time to identify patterns or areas for improvement. Just the same thing, similar to what machine learning, AI and machine learning does, is to study patterns. Inventory management, in stock analysis, IDEA is relevant. Procurement analysis, IDEA is relevant there. Payroll analysis, salary review, benefit analysis. Regulatory compliance, that is anti-money laundering, IDEA is very useful there. Healthcare compliance, IDEA is relevant. In taxation, tax compliance, ensuring accurate tax filings and payments. I think the case study we are going to look at now, combined tax, combined forensic, combined auditing and investigation. Tax planning, analyzing tax-related data for planning purpose. Procurement and contract management, vendor analysis, contract compliance, IDEA. Then customer relationship management, IDEA is also relevant when you talk of customer analysis, sales analysis. Project management, project costing, performance monitoring. information technology, we have system log analysis, then data security. Idea very, very relevant. So these all important audit software. Can you see what it can offer? By the time I draw our attention to what it can do for today's practical, then some of you who want to go the extra mile, my own is to open your eyes to see one out of many things idea can be used for. Those of you who now want to go the extra mile to use it, either as a consultant or in your place of work, as the case may be, then you look out for further training, which we are going to talk about later. Further training. All right. Other computer-assisted audit software. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important I state at this juncture as I close with the theory that it is not only idea we have as audit software that is relevant in analysis of data for purpose of forming an opinion as to whether financial statement represent a true and fair view. We have see the list of them. Before now, we used to think it's only idea and ACL. ACL is audit command language. But aside these two, see the list. Other computer-assisted audit software, Signal Auditor, GenSuite, Intellect, Pronto Forms, FastPath Audit Trail, Form.com, Asset Panda, Master Control Audit, Jot, Raking, iAuditor. In fact, some of these audit software will help you to convert paper evidence. You have a document, maybe you need it in soft copy, but the organization is telling you we don't have it in soft copy. We only have hard copy. With paper, let me see the specific one now. I've mentioned Form.com, Asset Panda, Protoforms, with Protoform, with Asset and with Protoforms. Yes, that one will help you convert paper document into soft copy that you can now import into idea and use for whatever purpose you need it for. Yeah, thank you for your attention. That's done with theory. Please check if you check your platform created for this course, you will see I've shared 2 documents this morning before the lecture. So I will go straight. I will take the practical session. Then I will leave the class open for question and comment. That digital accounting, let me pull out the question. It's already in your platform there. So ahead of our next class, I will be sharing ahead. I will share with us the case studies. PhD class. Case study. Any question or comment so far before we take the practical? All right, we have a case here. Just check your screen. I've shared it also. I've shared that also. Enoch PLC is a limited liability company with diverse investment that spans through manufacturing and supplies. Just watch. The company was established in 2013 and has been filing returns as at when due to FIRS. The tax liabilities of the company for the past 5 years have been above 100 million naira. However, in the last tax year, the company's tax liability remitted to the service was less than 50 million naira. This anomaly arose suspicion of possible tax fraud by the service. On an analytical review carried out by the service on the likely reasons for the huge variation between the tax liability of the last tax year and the previous 5 years. The audited financial statement of Enoch PLC uploaded via the Tax Pro Max was downloaded and carefully studied alongside the data field keyed into the system to arrive at the tax liability. The service discovered the account receivable figure in the financial statement was 169 million. Take note of this, please. In the financial statement, they are saying what they have as debtors is 169 million naira. Take note, that's the item germane here. The bad debt allowable deduction figure was stated at 95 million. FIRS contacted Enoch PLC and the company confirmed that the account receivables and bad debts for the tax year under consideration was the reason for the variation in the tax liability. Enoch PLC uses Microsoft Excel in the preparation of their financial statements, or better still in the analysis of debtors, something like that, and printed out the list of account receivable alongside the bad debt written off against each of their customers who made up the figures reported in their financial statement and the data keyed into the system as bad debts. Requirements: use interactive data extraction and analysis to collect and report relevant evidences required to establish a case of tax fraud or evasion. Ladies and gentlemen, let me summarize this case study. Enoch PLC has been filing returns in realm of over 100 million, but suddenly in a particular year, the year under review, they now remitted less than 50 million. And when the service contacted them, they are saying the reason for the reduction in the tax filed or in tax liability is because of the debtors. Most of their sales were on debt and some of the debts not recoverable. And they put this one in their financial position, statement of financial position, that their debtors is 169 million naira. And the figure for allowable deductions is 95 million. That's what they have seen on the pages of their statement of financial position. That's their financial statement generally. But you, as an expert, who now want to use idea to verify. Now, if the figure we are talking about, the figure, if the customer that make up this 169 million is like 20 customers, it's very easy. You just ask them, give us the debtor schedule. Let me just understand it. But we are talking of some time where the debtor schedule or the debtors involved are thousands. So in that case, all you just need to ask them is to give you the soft copy. You ask them, give me the soft copy of the analysis of your debtors. Don't ask for more. Once they give you in soft copy, you import it in IDEA. Don't rely, see what you do in IDEA is for IDEA to help you now recalculate, to check this figure based on their list of debtor schedule. Compare what IDEA is giving you as a total with what they stated on their statement of financial position. Check this one also. By the time you do that, you form your note, then you write your report. That is all we want to do here. Now, instead of you saying, I want to do all these things manually using calculator, this is an era generally referred to as era of digital revolution. Some other people call it era of digital Darwinism. So it's not this era you'll be doing biro and paper or chalk and board accounting. You have technology. You don't have the idea with you, but I have it. Ladies and gentlemen, just watch. After today, I will draw our attention on how you can get this idea, or better still, I will refer you to a website, the website of ACCSA Global. ACCSA is Association of Chartered Certified System Accountants. It's based here in the US. I'm the privileged regional rep and training director. I will work on it, upload it in the cloud, then I will inform the class. Once I'm done uploading, you can go and download for free. I'm not asking you to pay. It's not everything money, value addition first. Once we upload it in the cloud, I will inform the class, you go and download, then you install on your system. because you will still need it either for our subsequent classes or for the training we are working on to empower accountants more, for those of you who bother to join the training. Now, immediately what I've done, let me share with you. I have idea on my own system and I've loaded it. The first thing is for you to load the software. This is how it looks like. Please just check. This is idea now you are seeing. Now, if you still look at the question very well, let me stop sharing. There is also in your class group platform, let me share with you so that you see the account receivable. I've sent it, I've shared on the platform, but it's good I show you on the screen. See the results, see the account receivable collected. See it here. Account receivable. Can you see Enoch PLC account receivable? And they have given us from this account receivable the date, the journal, the customer number, account, credit, debit, because it's account receivable, so all debit. Then doubtful debts, everything. If you are following the question very well, do you know this guy said their debtors total? That's the figure on the statement of financial position, says our debtors, the value of our debtors for the year is 195 million. Now, once you collect this, I'm showing you something now. Once you collect this statement from them, you check whether they have even put any total there. If there's any total, let's check. Can you see 169? Thank you. 169 million, the other 195. The first thing you will do is to delete. You delete all their total. You don't rely on the total given to you, because idea has provision to give you the total, control total. We are going to see that later. You delete all this. Then before you import into idea environment also, there is no provision for title. You remove all these Enoch PLC account receivable, so that the field we need we start from the serial number, date, journal, and so on. All right. I just want to show us that one. But what I'm going to do, once I launch my idea, as you also will do when you have idea installed on your system, idea. This is the case study. This is the software. All right. See what I will do first. With time, I can also give us some brief notes, but time will not permit us to be sharing all this. In project overview, we tell you about the projects that you have worked on in the time past. Create, you want to create a new project. Select is to select from existing project. Which one do you want to work on? Archive, after retaining a particular project of a client for a specified number of years, you can archive it. Desktop is where you access whatever document you want to import. Now let's go straight to action. I have launched my idea, audit software. The next thing, can you see this desktop? That same account receivable that has been given to you, that I also share on the class platform, the very first thing you will do to it is to go and remove all those heading and remove all the total. And once you do that, then you can now import. If you decide to import raw, the way it is given to you, it's not going to fit in. So quick, I will go and delete. Let me delete, and as I do so, I want you to see Enoch PLC. All right. See, let me share. This is of course, the first thing I'm doing, I'm doing some data cleaning now. I don't need all this data up. See what I'm doing? I delete the entire row, sorry, the entire column, entire row. See it now? I've deleted the entire row. That is no inner PLC account receivable. I don't need it. Then I'll scroll down. Can you see? Because I'm using the demo version for students, that's the capacity. This idea cannot take thousands. It's when you now subscribe and you begin to pay monthly subscription. You cannot have access to the idea that can even take care of billions of transactions. Now I've deleted both the total given. Now, having done this, the next thing is to launch idea. Please pay attention. I'm also going to see if we can give you the step to idea. Now I launch this. I have idea. Watch what I'm doing. We go to all right, see something, desktop. You go to desktop, watch. I want to go and import. That's what I'm doing now. I want to import that document now for analysis purposes. So I'll click on desktop, watch. I will select. What I'm importing is an Excel document. I'll click on Excel. Then I'll click on next. Can you see that now? As soon as I click on this, let me take that again. I identify what I need to do is Excel. Then see these dots here. So it will take me to the desktop straight. I click desktop, watch. I'm sharing my desktop now. Then I will go and look out for Enoch PLC. Look out for Enoch PLC and see searching. See it here. Idea case study 1, account receivable, Enoch PLC. I will click it, watch. Then you click on open. Once you click on open, click on next. Watch what happens now. The moment I click on next, I can come here, first row field. I can check these two fields. Then watch. Automatically, with what I've done, I've succeeded now to import the Excel document from my desktop into the idea environment. Ladies and gentlemen, once you do this importation, this is where you can now perform all manner of data manipulation. When I say data manipulation, I'm not saying you should falsify data. Manipulation here means arithmetic. When you say arithmetic, division, multiplication, anyway, another short word for that is you can now carry out your analysis. The area of interest to us for today, as per that case study, is just 2. Watch now. Do you know the moment I import this data, if I want to check, I want to check field statistics. You know, why telling us about descriptive analytics? I say descriptive statistics is part of the analytical tools or technique used. So idea has provision for this. Even the way this thing is, if I decide to just click field statistics, watch now. Statistics are not available for all fields. Do you wish to create statistics for all fields without statistics? Watch. I just say yes. Ladies and gentlemen, can you see that idea has automatically computed all the relevant descriptive statistics I need. You see net value, absolute value, number of record 200, then average value, minimum value, maximum value, and the rest. This is not where we are going, but I'm just my time is up. I need to catch up another appointment. Now, how do I return back to the original data I've imported for another analysis? See, watch here. You see data, you click on data, it will take us back to the original data. All I just need now, because of time, I want to find out the control total. This particular company, Enoch PLC, have stated on the pages of their financial statement that the total debtor is 163 million. I now want idea to give me the correct total for debtors. See what I'm doing? I click on this. Can you see from my screen? I've clicked on that debt. All I need to do, watch to my right. Can you see control total? I will click on total. It will ask me, he has given me option, where do you want me to total for you? Which column am I totaling? I will pick this one, debit. See debit here for debtor. I will now click OK. Watch, ladies and gentlemen, can you see? Whereas Enoch PLC stated that their total debtors amounted to 163 million thereabout. Idea is telling us the correct total is 32,610,942. I will do my notes that this is the correct total. Then I go again, can go back to data, no problem. I want to see the doubtful debt they call, or bad debt they call 95 million. Then I click again, control total. Watch. What do you want me to sum for you? Doubtful. Okay. Can you see the total of doubtful debt? 9,783,282.6 as against the 95 million they claim. There are many things. As a matter of fact, let me share with us humorously. We have done the training of audit software, audit analytics. As a matter of fact, we call it forensic masterclass in forensic accounting and audit. And there's no way we talk of forensic accounting and audit without using audit software. We have done this training before for even managers and directors in Federal Inland Revenue Service. And I remember then we had two good sets in Lagos, Stream 1, Stream 2 in Lagos, then Stream 1, Stream 2 in Abuja. This training, minimum 3 days. We start 10 a.m., we finish 4 p.m. All I've just done today is to open our eyes to see that there is, among others, an audit software available that is relevant for accountants in audit analytics. If you have any question, the class is up. I'm done with my lectures for today. If you have any question or comment, let me know. Go ahead.
Prof. Greetings, Prof.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm interested in the remote access of company data, which you said could be uploaded into through API gateway. So can you throw a little more light on that? For example, I am engaged with a company that is remotely located and import their data into my system for analysis. That we could do that through API. How would that be done?
No, see, when you say API, like API stands for Application Programming Interface. And I've mentioned to you, if you are auditing a company, it can be a company, it can be any, when I say company now, general, like it can be manufacturing industry, it can be banking sector. They are the one to give you access to connect with their own server. That's to have access to their database now. So that as the transaction is occurring online real time, you as the external auditor have access to this information. So if you're asking them, send me this report digitally or send me the soft copy, how many reports, especially a company or an audit firm that is auditing a big company with millions of transactions or billions of transactions. So that's the point. You will need API. But before you talk of this API, first, you need to subscribe and have the idea server. Idea server operate on the internet. Is cloud-based. Maybe our next lecture when we look at cloud accounting. And that one is not, there's no free version. You have to subscribe for it. Is that okay?
Very well, sir. Thank you.
Any other question? I will take one more comment.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Prof.
Good evening, Najinka. Go ahead. Nageshika or Nageshiku, those of us who understand now, sir. Let's go ahead. I thought somebody is speaking. You're asking a question.
Okay, so I thought Mama want to go. So let me go first then, Prof. Can you hear me, sir?
Very well.
Okay, so my own question is that you first said in your presentation that we have a free trial for this idea, just that it's limited in what you can access. Like you can have a large
demo version, yeah. Demo version.
Demo version, yes. Yes, sir. So how do we have access to this demo version? How do we download on our desktop? Can you give us step by step?
I've already, maybe you joined a bit late. I've mentioned that I'm going to draw the attention of the class to a website, and that website is the website of ACCSA Global, Association of Chartered Certified System Accountants. As I'm talking to you now, I've already pulled out I had it there before. I think they remove it. So we are going to work on it to upload it there. Then you go and download and install direct on your system. So as soon as that is done, that will be before our next contact, hopefully. I think I should give you information. Now that your class governor have added me to your platform, once it's ready, I will share information on the platform. That go to this also web page and will give you the directive how you will access it, because we will still need it in future, especially some of you that will be interested in more training on idea. Well, this one is just one. I can tell us that what I've just shown us is like 5% of what idea can do. It's so robust. And next question, please.
All right. Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's answer my question, sir. So that's very interesting.
That answered the question.
Very much.
All right. Yes, thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. See you, Anjuma.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Sir.
See Anjuma, Professor.
I will also share. Yeah, I will also share the recorded one with us. I will share the link on the platform for those of us who want to.
With the slide, sir.
All right.
Okay, thank
you. With the slide.
Thank you, sir.
Now go to